Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends. It's been a pretty momentous 24 hours in the fighting game community. And to cap it off here, we have the Toph trailer for the new Avatar fighting game. So real quick before we dig in, since there's been so much news, if you have not seen the recent Marvel Tokon or Dead or Alive, yes, there is a new Dead or Alive. If you have not seen those videos, please check those out on the channel. Now, for the Toph trailer, just on its face, without knowing anything, you can tell Toph is crazy. Avatar, one of the big selling points people have come to love about the game, is the relative character power of these characters is very high. They can do a lot of things, and Toph, well, she's surfboarding on top of a pillar while comboing Aang, right? Like, this game has the sauce, if you will. And luckily for all of us involved, one of the developers actually kind of gave me a walkthrough of everything in the trailer, so I can give you a much more advanced understanding of everything that is happening. And let me tell you, my friends, this is the Rooflemonger channel. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to tell you that Toph is a big boy character. Well, wait a second, she's a little girl. How she's a big boy? She's the big, super armored bully character. Armor through your nonsense and then hit you on the other side of things. And that's pretty much all I need to say to win over a lot of people, I think. She's not a grappler. My understanding is that'll be a different character, but she's pretty sick. And look how smooth that is. Like, this game is so good. Like, the animations are perfect. So now let's dig into her gameplay. Like, even this right here, this is a taunt, right?
You ready for a royal butt whooping, sad boy?
Apparently, even this is gameplay. I was told she has unique taunts for every character in the game, and if her taunt goes off in full, it actually drains the opponent's meter. And look at these animations. So this is Toph's flow state. So a parry, if you will, by other game standards. And you get so much of the character's vibe. Like, this is what Toph would do. Just kind of clowning around with the enemy, not trying her hardest, because Toph is kind of better than everyone else. And then from here, we can kind of get an example combo. So her jumping heavy, which I've been assured is a very ignorant button, by the way, can cross up too. Her jumping heavy, if it can counter hit, will bounce the opponent, and then you can go from a combo from there. And there's something interesting besides that. Notice when she turns green. So when she turns green, that is super armor. It's one hit of armor, but multiple moves of her will turn her green, and she can armor through various moves, as we'll see later in the trailer. Now, next up, we're going to see Toph snipe Korra out of the sky while she's trying to be tricky here with a pillar, and then a combo after the fact. So the pillar is effectively her projectile, if you will. It's aimable. Your button press determines where it appears on the screen. And apparently if it hits an airborne foe, that's effectively a critical hit. And then it'll cause an additional bounce that you can combo from. Also notice mid-combo, if you also apparently hit it point blank, it will cause a ceiling bounce, not a wall bounce, a ceiling bounce, which is a very novel concept for a 2D fighter. The only game I can think of off the top of my head, which is funny because it's in the news, Dead or Alive is very famous for doing ceiling bounces. And now here it is in this game as another way to keep comboing foes besides the usual ground bounce, wall bounce. Cool, I dig it. And then ending the string with a tackle ender that might look a little familiar to some fans of other fighting games. And this combo works because she has a specific thing to stop people from jumping if she hits you with the pillar, right? So in this mobile game, she's a no-fly zone character. Next up's really fun for me, just for a lot of reasons. So I've been told this is just basically a basic string, right? And that final hit you're seeing here with the green glow, which means it's armored, is just her stand heavy. So she's the Hulk. Has an armored standing heavy, which will ideally hopefully lead to a lot of ignorance and fun for all those involved. Now here you can see her do her classical seismic wave, like the very famous episode where she's in the wrestling match, right? And she can just kind of send out and see what's going on and does the pillar. That's apparently her enhanced version of pillar, which can kind of hit where the enemy is. And then you can see one of her flow moves. So her flow moves, one of them, can literally vacuum you in against your will, as well as any active pillars on the battlefield, because they don't necessarily go away right away if it's an enhanced version. It stays on the map as an obstacle and becomes a new wall. So yes, you can effectively corner combo someone, if you will, mid-screen because that wall is there. And also you can smash them through the wall, breaking it, giving you new launching properties you otherwise couldn't get, and getting more expanded combos you would not get. So you can very literally, pardon the pun, but I gotta go for it, put the enemy between a rock and a hard place. Build your walls, sandwich them in between you and the wall, and not only are their movement options going to be more limited, you'll literally get better combos, similar to say like Aganos in Killer Instinct. This is peak character design in my opinion. Toph is not as mobile as some of the other characters that we see in the game, like Korra, like Aang, like Zuko, but what she does instead is inhibit other characters' mobility, which is great. Like, earthbenders shouldn't be moving a mile a minute. That's so perfect. Great design. Now, not to say she has no movement, so we can see her forward flow, and we see the Boulder. I know a lot of people have been waiting for the Boulder, so hey, here he is. So the Boulder, being the Boulder, gives you even more super armor to work with, and specifically on her flow movement, her enhanced movement. I've been told her down flow, which is effectively a stance, that's armored all the time, right? But her back and forward flow movement is what gets armored in this support character. And the other things you're seeing here, so heavy, stand heavy rather, and this is the heavy version of the tackle. That's normal, that's universal. These are just armored, because once again, she's the big super armored gorilla character. Toph is not about style and sick movement and all that nonsense. Toph is a caveman clubbing you in the head, as it should be, and exactly as she would want it, as any true fan of the show already knows. Now, of course, we have more support characters. Another one is a Badgermole that gives you better earth pillars. So I've been told, even though it's somewhat difficult to visually ascertain, the pillars themselves are just actually bigger. You have a bigger hitbox. It's just that much easier to hit your enemy. Also, not exclusive to this support character, but the trip. So if you do the pillar and just tap the button instead of hold the button, you'll get a low hitting trip instead of the actual pillar itself. And this is OTG OK, meaning it will hit grounded foes. Now, one thing the Badgermole does let you do is when you're doing your startup of your pillar, you're allowed to jump cancel your startup, because it's a little bit slower, so people can like jump it on reaction or try to get out, right? So you can catch them trying to jump out of your projectile, your pillar, and then say air throw them. And again, the enhanced pillars are static, they stay on the ground, right? If you air throw them, you can air throw them into the pillar, combo them off the pillar, and give them the old dunk. And again, Toph's a big boy. She might be a small woman, but this is a big boy elbow. And then, of course, everyone has two supers. We have one that is 4 chakra, one that is 7 chakra, your meters. And this is the more standard one, which is just a big old rock-a-lanche. And our final support character is Hippo. No, not King Hippo. That's an entirely different legal entity, and I've never heard of him. So this is just Hippo, and he gives better platform. So one of the things you can do while you're in your down flow stance is summon a platform. And here also, she's armoring through Aang's attack with the forward B normal, although anyone can do that. That's not support specific. But yeah, so when you're in your stance heavy creates a pillar, and with the Hippo support, you can actually move the pillar left to right. And doing so makes combos with it a lot easier. When you're on the pillar, you can do all your various standing normals, except for one that changes, which we'll talk about. And you can also, in this support variation, jump off it and keep air comboing the opponent after the juggle. So again, Toph's not necessarily fast, but she definitely can get vertical, as you can see. And after the dunk here, we keep the launch going with the enhanced pillar, comboing the opponent against the wall, and then sandwiching them again between a pillar and, well, a rock and a hard place, right? And this, again, the pillar moves forward because of the support variation and makes these combos either like just easier or possible at all to begin with. And that's the big change at the end. So you normally keep your standing normals, except your stand heavy changes. So instead of armor, it becomes a giant projectile you can just huck at the enemy. So you can technically be at the top of the screen and whip it down at them while you're also breaking a wall too. Also, I was assured this combo is very difficult to do and took a micro walk to make it work. So yeah, we got the advanced stuff and it took several tries to film. So in the comments below, say thank you, developer, because they showed us a pretty cool combo. So next up, we can see Toph using her various flow movement, forward flow to move across, back flow, not to move her, but to move the opponent to her. And this is thanks to the Boulder variation. This gives her backflow super armor, so she can vacuum you in against your will and then also tank a hit, which is great because we're about to see her level 7 chakra super, the big ultimate. Now this is a command grab. So she doesn't have normal command grabs, but her big ultimate is a command grab. And I have been assured that this is the kind of command grab you cannot jump after the flash. So if you see it activate and you're standing beside her, well, you're about to learn what metal bending's all about. And you can see by the smear frame here, Aang is not enjoying his metal bending lesson. So a big super armored gorilla bully with a command grab ultimate attack. I think this is kind of what everyone hoped for out of Toph. At least myself. Like, I was not expecting Toph to be tricky. That is not what Toph is. And for my money, this trailer over-delivered. By now, I'm sure you have seen that Avatar, the fighting game, is a very crazy game by fighting game standards in all the best ways. And now look at Toph, and she is so unique compared to all the other characters, which are already very unique in and of themselves. Ain't no clone movesets here. Everyone is a turbo unique character. And we're only a few characters shown so far for the greater roster, right? So what other crazy things are there to be seen? Because I don't think we've seen the craziest stuff yet. And honestly, as a very long time fighting game player, that's exciting. I'm really looking forward to this game. The more I look at this, this might be my fighting game of the year. We'll see, I guess, but it's all good vibes from me. I made no show of it. Toph is my favorite Avatar character along with Uncle Iroh. And this is everything I could have hoped for her as a character. So basically, good stuff. But that is it for this breakdown. That's it for the video. And well, that is it for me. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And when the time comes, go out and play some Avatar.
This is the life we can